they would send them into this lake, and it would like get them to chill out. And they're like, oh.
When you do? Oh, no.
Yeah, they would not let you into the park without these tight Speedo shorts.
What?
They wanted the clothes to be tight, so they wouldn't get. I don't know. It was very weird. I've been to tons of water parks with my kids. This one, they're like, you need to buy these and wear these in there. Everybody had them on, like that tight, Speedo shorts, smart shorts. Not it didn't need to be the banana hammock, but that was also prevalent.
I need to buy some Chinese suits.
But did you feel bonita?
Bonita.
I wasn't in Spain at that point.
Suavecito,
I did go to Spain.
Mm-hmm. Did you feel good?
I felt like all I could say was au revoir and bonsoir. Also bonjour. And occasionally merci.
You're a whore.
And voulez-vous coucher moi ce soir?
What the hell are you guys doing?
Trying to learn French.
I
don't know. I'm protesting your app until Pretzel dies.
Oh
I
no.
think he was doing the same thing a couple days ago.
What happened? Shit.
You're just a fucking piece of shit who wanted to twist something that I said that I didn't say and act like I talked about his dead brother when really he brought up his dead brother.
Right? And they strategically, though, met and spoke about what these candidates will do. And basically, Mandami worked on these two districts that he knew turnout would be low. 3 districts. He knew turnout would be low for the Democrats because they're not going to come out because a Democrat always wins. No one cares, right? So it's like no one shows up anyway. And usually, the Dem usually never gets primary. Usually never in those 3 districts. Well, you got the 3 DSAs who showed up with record low turnout ever, right? But now they're guaranteed a seat in Congress because Republicans have an army. So even then, people won't come out and vote for them. So so now you're guaranteed with 3 new Democratic socialists in Congress. Then you have AOC herself. Then you have Rashida Tlaib. You have Ilhan Omar. You have the other squad people, Jayapala and all these guys. So while they may not have money, like you're saying, or whatever, the party enrollment or whatever is low, their influence is high because they realize we can get the seats, we'll get the money, we'll get the influence. And that's their strategy. That's why they're pushing hard for this Syed guy to win, because then they can say, all right, we got the game plan for the Senate, and that's what they tried with Plattner, and they got destroyed with Plattner. But that's why you see now the opponent of Syed is all over the news everywhere, because everyone is fighting back against that guy, as a DSA type person winning. But I mean, I still think that he may end up winning that primary. And if Syed wins in Michigan for Senate, I mean, you're gonna have the DSA as probably being the most powerful it's ever been in this country on a national level.
Well, do you know what Napoleon did to the DSA in revolutionary France?
Everybody, the great John Kitover. John, welcome to the stage. How are you, my friends? Good to see you.
Excellent, Scott. As always, you have something in your mouth.
Well, he was talking about somebody that you would know, Rahm Emanuel. He was saying that he's kind of the moderate now. What do you think, John?
Well,
You're going for his...
he's on my day 2 hit list when I get elected to mayor of Chicago. I'll be suing him for fraud as well as the city of Abu Dhabi and their investment authority. We will retake our streets by the power of the law. And if a Democrat, liberal, progressive, socialist, pluralist judge refuses to abide by my mayoral decree, that he or she will be arrested.
Well, there you go. Kind of vigilante against progressivism. Yaakov, welcome to the stage. How are you? Always great to see you. Are Democrats obsessed with Israel, Yaakov, and what are you going to do about it?
Obsessed? It's become a litmus test. And it's the first...
Why do you skip over me, though? Like, out of everyone here, you didn't
even acknowledge me being here. And he
Oh, sorry, Black. I've been in and out. Black, it's great to see you.
No, it's clear that I was here. You just skip over me.
I apologize. I'm doing.
People make mistakes. He just said he made a mistake.
Wait,
Why did I turn it over to Black? Black Messiah.
Let's go to Black. Apologies, Black. Sorry, multitasking.
Be honest with me. You did it because you're black. Be honest.
Of course, yeah, exactly.
No, he didn't. He just was human and he made a mistake.
Oh, yeah.
No.
We're gonna be honest.
My Jewish tradition gives kavod, which is honor, to elders. So Yaakov, go ahead, please.
I do not want to see you hurt, so please start.
I am not hurt. I'm walking the streets of Jerusalem. Every step I take is a mitzvah. I'm okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. Are they obsessed with Israel? Well, it's become a litmus test, that's for sure. You gotta, let's see. Let's see if we can come up with the trifecta. The trifecta for Democrats is you have to swear off AIPAC money. You have to say you're not associated with AIPAC. That's number one. You have to say it's a genocide. That's number two. And number three, I think you kind of have to say Free Palestine or some variation thereof. So, does that make them obsessed with it? In the grand scheme of things, of all of the things they're thinking of, I think it's a minor percentage of the time, but it is very visible. It's highly visible, but they're more obsessed with winning. They're more obsessed with social change in the U.S. This whole slant to the left, and all that bullshit that comes along with it. They are obsessed in general with a lot more things than Israel, but Israel is a high visibility obsession. I don't think it's their primary one, and it's definitely has become a litmus test. And you can't proceed in the Democratic Party unless you pass the three tests that I told you. So Rahm Emanuel out, Josh Shapiro out. I don't know who else who is Jewish could, who believes the way that some of us in this room believe in, would ever survive anything with the Democratic Party. So that's my take.
It is, in fact, a shibboleth.
Yeah, it is a shibboleth. Yeah, like the Tanakh. For those who don't know, shibboleth was used in the Tanakh to allow, there was a tribe that had a different, they couldn't say, I think, they could only say s. So they asked them to pronounce a word, and if your mouth could not do that because of years of training your tongue and your mouth opening, you would say the word wrong, and they would know that you were not friendly and you were an opposing people. It was a great test. There was a great episode of West Wing called Shibboleth.
Yep, I was just going to say, I was going to try to find a clip.
Yeah, you could.
It's sort of like in
There's
Philadelphia.
always a great episode of West Wing on any political topic we will discuss in this or any other room.
By the way, the equivalent of shibboleth in Philadelphia is ordering your cheesesteak with provolone like John Kerry did. In 2004.
Well, that's like...
If I could throw in one point, it's just like my research of just like dealing with a lot of people who are anti-Israel, people who say American first, the whole thing, and I think, people who support Israel, people who are Jewish, take the conversation from it being about the struggle between Jewish sovereignty and self-determination, and bring it to the fact that this region that I'm in right now is only going to be successful if we promote the idea of individual rights that are ruled by law that is created by the consensus of people who live in a geographical area. As long as we make it Jewish sovereignty, it brings up a whole bunch of religious issues and all these other types of things, but the leadership of Israel in this region is not because of the military power, the technology, is that the vast majority of Arabs in this region, which is like 22 nation states, reality that's not based off of a mullah, that's not based off of a king, or any form of ayatollah or any type of theocracy. And I'm walking on a lot of hills right now, Jerusalem. But the point is the same. That's the point that we should be pushing, and that's what we should hold the Democrats accountable for, which is we believe in individual rights. We believe that God gave every human being inalienable rights that has nothing to do with the nation state, that has nothing to do with any context. And the nation state should support and enhance those individual rights. And if we stay on that mission statement, I think we're going to have tremendous success going forward.
So you would say there, Black, just classical liberalism in some sense, right? That this is the liberal project, right? The classic liberal project is that you have the sovereignty of the individual, like bottom-up Republican government with the sovereignty of the individual. Largely, the job of the state is to protect individual sovereignty. Do I have you correct?
100%, and that's the movement. That's it. That's what Israel represents. That's what the United States represents. We are dysfunctional. We are fallible because we are humans. My ancestors were slaves in America, right? They were in chattel slavery. But it was because of the mission statement and the goals and the laws of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights that my ancestors were able to negotiate their ability to be sovereign individuals despite the imperfections of man. And so that's the system that I believe in for the rest of humanity, because I'm coming from slavery, that my ancestors were giving freedom. In this region, in other parts of the world, whatever you're categorized as, that's it. There's no mobility. That's it. For hundreds of years, thousands of years, that's who you are. In America, my ancestors were considered property, and they became presidents. They became heads of security, heads of national defense, heads of legal attorney generals, right? So what we're saying is that the American system works, and it's been proven, even with the imperfections of man. So every Muslim in this region deserves to have, every Muslim, Christian, Kurd, Jew in this region should have the right to come together as a society and develop laws that protect their personal interests and their own personal pursuits of happiness.
There we go. A staunch defense of classical liberalism, and I think that is the sort of big divide. I think, right? I don't think it's left-right. I think it's largely in our society right now, liberal versus illiberal. You have people that are right of center that are classical liberals, people that are left of center that are classical liberals. Then you have people. You have kind of ethno-religious nationalists on the right that are less sympathetic to classical liberalism, and you have sort of neo-Marxist identitarians on the left that are less sympathetic. So,
What was the consensus, Scott?
What's that?
What was the consensus before I came into the room?
Yeah, I mean, this has become a litmus test. As Norm said, it's the new climate change. It's something that by the Democratic Party, it's the equivalent of Trump on the Democratic Party, right? I mean, the Republican Party, if you're anti-Trump, you get, right now, you get banished to the wilderness. And the Democratic Party, if you're pro-Israel, you get banished to the wilderness.
What's it on the Republican side?
It's Trumpism. It's if you're not a Trump loyalist.
Oh, yeah.
You get primary and you go out to the wilderness. You gotta go.
Gentlemen, moderators, if I may answer the room title question.
The great John Kitover, everybody.
So I want to frame my response or answer or analysis from the lens of looking at dating apps over the past 2 to 3 years. And a lot of these Free Palestine anti-Zionist girls, they're spicy, let me tell you. And they want to go to the most expensive restaurants on the riverfront. But the truth is, when they say, if you're not Free Palestine, don't even try it, what they're really saying is, I am highly vaxxed, liberal, progressive, pluralist. And I don't know if you guys know what LGBTQIA plus means. I looked up what the I and the A and the plus means. Just like on this.
Intersex, right? Is that the I is intersex?
Correct.
Asexual.
There's a second. There's a second
plus
one.
is like anything we haven't
Nope.
given
Nope.
a
Hello?
letter to.
Hello?
We're gonna
No.
just include who.
No. No. You don't know the
No.
historical context. I looked it up. The
Oh.
plus is from a 1990s Canadian indigenous tribe where the males and the females did alternative roles for survival. Hello?
Spirit.
Two Spirit!
Oh yeah.
Two Spirit! So, my point is, when we're 200 trillion in debt, and all the states are 30 trillion in debt, the priority of
We're
communicate.
about 30 trillion in debt. We're not 200 trillion. When?
My point is, when does
sorry.
communication become a priority? When does our concentration, our focus, and our communication become more of a priority than the political ideology? And really, it has to come from the top down. So when Trump addresses the nation, to me, that's the priority of communication. And the resistance, the feedback is abominable. And you can just listen to what they're talking about, and then you can question where is their priority of communication. And so,
Abominable?
all I'm trying to say, if I'm not being articulate enough, it could be because I haven't ejaculate enough. But what I'm just saying is that priority of communication.
Wait, what did the Palestine girls like in bed?
I wouldn't know. It's been so
He
long.
obviously hasn't gotten there because of certain incompatibilities.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I usually abandon them at the last moment because I say, why am I even wasting my time? I have priorities of communication
go.
and activity.
You get them into bed if you just lug your kafia over your shoulder?
That could work. I do have some kind of Palestinian, scarf. That would be a very funny thing to show up in a date with that, tucked in my breast pocket. And I said, I did actually meet this hot Albanian Muslim chick. And I said, for you, baby, I might consider freeing Palestine.
Now that's like Muslim light Albanians. Well, I'm Albanians actually.
Well,
I can't find the same, the plus equals this, two spirits thing. Two spirits? Yeah, where'd you get that stuff from?
Two
Sexual orientation,
spirits!
gender identities, and gender expressions not specifically named in the acronym. That's sort of what I said.
Two spirits. I'm feeling a two spirit in my tuchus. In my gefilte fish, I'm gonna put my chopped liver in your two spirits. Scott.
Okay. I saw an Instagram thing the other day with a guy who said he was trans.
That was really, really funny.
Wait, what was he? What does that even mean?
That guy's amazing. That guy is
Very funny.
If you go to Josh, that guy is so funny.
I think his last name is Sitsover, John Sitsover, or am I? He's so funny though. I agree with you. He's trans, whatever it is. But he changes it up. So sometimes he's wearing his Indian outfit, sometimes he's black, and he's always assigned the wrong, but his stupid doctor assigned him the wrong whatever it was at first.
Yeah, he was assigned white at birth.
Right. If you're a bigot, yeah. He's very funny.
And he believes he likes ice because he wants to kick out all the non-indigenous people.
But it's all a joke. I mean, he is very conservative, but he's up just,
Hey, no, Gigi.
really a person.
He's not really trans-indigenous.
No, but I did say that's somebody that I was.
What does that mean? Like you're
Indian, Native American.
you identify as Native American?
Yes, he identifies as Native American, and his stupid doctor and parents put white or Caucasian on his birth certificate at birth. And so he's mad at them because That's not how he identifies. He identifies as a Native American.
Indigenous or real indigenous?
Oh, I thought that's when like.
Yes, Norm.
I thought that's when like people from Iowa come to New York and say they're New Yorkers. Yeah, I thought that was trans-indigenous.
That too.
Well, back to the topic on why Democrats are so obsessed with the state of Israel, why these anti-Zionists, why they hate Netanyahu, why they hate Ben-Gvir, why they hate security and law and borders. And then in America, we have these horrific anti-Semites who spend all day, every day, obsessing and talking about J-words on all platforms. And they spread the most incredible amount of deceptive hate because it's communication hypnosis, it's mind control. And it's their political
Communications is hypnosis, right?
it's their political position. However, they're hypocrites and they themselves are the fascists that they're describing. They've never been to Israel, or if they have, again, what they're doing is very disingenuous and they're attacking a minority. So they're very hypocritical. And the truth is, as I've always said on this app for many years, it has to come down to the law. And unfortunately, in America, in my opinion, in all of our major sanctuary cities, we do not have law enforcement. But in Israel, thank God for Hashem, Rabbono Shel Olam, they actually enforce the law and want to protect their citizens. And they don't want terrorism and murderers running through the streets killing people. But in Sanctuary City, America, that's the standard. That's the norm. There are plenty of parents that have angel children, and they are called angel parents because their children have been murdered, slaughtered, and killed by illegal alien invaders, given driver's licenses by liberal progressive Democrats. So we have a major security problem in America, and thank God Israel is a serious business over there, and they don't tolerate shenanigans. I am complete. Scott, you're a little too far away from your microphone, but we got Douglas on the stage. Welcome, Douglas.
Oh, sorry. Hey, hi. Just listening in. I didn't mean to turn on my mic, but it's an interesting discussion. Maybe I'll listen a little bit more.
Long-time listener, first-time caller?
Yeah, I guess first-time caller. Well educated on this subject, but I'm going to just listen in.
Educate us. No, come on, we need new voices. We need new voices, Douglas.
Well, what's the question?
Are you trans-indigenous?
No, let's go to the title first.
Yes, I was assigned, fortunately, I was assigned white passing Jewish at birth, and I'm still a white passing Jew, but don't identify as a white person from the United States of America, at least in the terms that race is defined here. I don't view myself to be in that particular category, but I think that, this is an issue that we have to deal with in the United States generally. Well, this is I think one of the things that they were talking about just before that I joined in the conversation. I know that Instagram, or I find in general the kind of those provocations to not be super useful for. In general, it's a kind of a reverse rage baiting type thing, and we can enjoy it because it makes us feel good to see people act in a terrible hypocritical way. And that's fine, I enjoy that sort of Instagram content late at night sometimes. However, I do think that in the United States, we have this obsession with race, and that is something where, Jewish people do not fit into. We don't fit into a sort of generally defined way that Americans think about race. We are on Israel. That is a concept which predates the racial concept in the United States. And I think that people who have a problem with Jews in Israel have a problem with that in general. They have a problem with us being a people in a way that they don't understand.
Yeah, I disagree. They don't understand that.
They don't understand that.
Yeah, we're white people to them. We're just white people that follow a different religion. They don't understand a tribe. The construct of the West is not tribal. It's country-based. It's
I think to go back to the question question, sort of the general question that you discussed in here.
Schools in Iowa, and the broadcasters started the worldwide broadcast, like from every country around the globe, every time zone around the globe. I don't know, there were 24 different uploads. And it was stopped by the Bataclan terrorist massacre at a nightclub in Paris called Bataclan. So the thing stopped, and they never broadcast my pieces. So I take this matter actually kind of personally, and you can see the overlap between the struggle against jihad and climate change as different aspects of ideological capture. Too much that too heavy.
See, El Normo.
Norm, we're all about heading, and look, we also give open airtime. We're obsessed with weasels on the show. This is how we roll, Norm.
That particular point of connection there between the climate change and mind capture and what's going on now.
See, the irony about climate change is, to a liberal, progressive, Democrat, socialist, the climate changes, they are already in control. And so they don't want the climate to change. It's all about maintaining status quo. But America is fully neutered. Our industries obliterated, deported overseas to China. Go on Amazon and go to the Amazon Essentials section, which is thousands of the most essential products that you will buy in your lifetime. All of it manufactured in China. Amazon is the distributor of China. America has been fleeced. We will have major social problems if Democrat socialists take more control, because we're already so indebted, and all they're doing is stealing from pensions to give out to NGO nonprofit scams that are just basically handout give outs, which is just theft. And so, anyways, my point is, the climate change is a fraud. That the entire global warming movement or ideology, look at Greta Thunberg. She's completely shifted. That little girl is a propaganda engine. Her parents and other organizations use her to put out videos that millions of liberal progressive Democrats are brainwashed with. You have, in Ayn Rand's philosophy of separation of state and economics versus separation of state and church, we have to come to a come to Jesus moment in America about the economy. And we have to admit that we have no products or services in this country, in the sense that everything is borrowed to be paid for. Our government is funding the economy 40-50% at this point, and we're fully indebted. So we have to have a come to Jesus moment. And the fact that liberal progressives hate tariffs when we have no industry left in this country, it's so absurd. Tariffs are strategic to bring back the manufacturing plants at scale over 5 years, 10 years. We have to become self-sustainable. And if that causes even more economic pressure on us, so be it. But we have to be the masters of our destiny in this country. Unfortunately, global trade and the global economy and outsourcing everything has neutered the potentiality and the future of everyone in this country, because everyone in this country will essentially be working just to pay interest expense to global banks. That is a major problem. Our children, we shouldn't be having children so they can create more children so they can simply work just to pay interest on debt. That is a dystopian slave economic system. That's not liberty.
John, we're going to come back to you. I appreciate it. I love it. Norm, before I go to you to respond to Doug, John did mention Greta, so I want to play a little clip about Greta from my show Wolf, and then we'll go to Norm.
Good old Greta. She's sailing to Gaza to try to break Israel's siege and bring aid to the people there. And leaving Greta to make me to do something that makes me not hate her. Because with all the environment stuff, I get what she's saying. I'm totally on her side, but
different aspects.
like you want want to be like, yes, I like the environment too. And then she's like, not as much as I do. All right, lady. Israel, they want to block her, and people, including a U.S. senator, said, I hope you know how to swim. And look, I just think a boat carrying aid to Gaza, threatening to sink or blow it up, probably isn't like a great look. You know, it's probably not your best defense in the whole, it's not a genocide argument you're trying to make. You know, she's like, and I can, they're like, some people are like, this makes her part of Hamas. I can guarantee you that Greta is not part of Hamas because there's no way Hamas wouldn't kick her out immediately. She's going to be like, you need to recycle here. What is the carbon footprint of this bomb?
Well, speaking of Hamas, we have terrorist promoters and terrorist supporters running rooms on this app right now that are obsessed with Israel, that spend every waking moment of their day.
This is not one of them. We're going to go to. Did you want to reframe your
Hello?
question to him real fast?
Well, I mean, I was interested to hear. Can you guys hear me?
Coming in loud and clear, my friend.
Okay, great. I also spent a lot of time working on international climate issues, international environmental issues, sustainability issues, and well, there's a lot of hype around certain things, and Greta Thunberg, you know, absolutely a totally insufferable person who has, you know, switched from being somebody who cares about the environment or climate to somebody who now wants to destroy Israel. She is an awful person. However, I think with a lot of our discussions, it is important not to be black and white on too many things. And I've read plenty of research about what's going on with the climate in general. It is not a great thing. Not to say that the way that we respond to that has been great either. It's certainly farming things out overseas. That whole discussion about the economy and what we owe, I think it's slightly pertinent, but it takes away from, I think, what I understand is the